You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Sheldon Primus.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus, where we blend safety smarts with business brilliance and a pinch of Sheldon's signature wit. Whether you're a safety pro, a fresh-faced consultant, or just safety curious, get ready for a show that'll educate, entertain, and elevate your safety game. Let's dive into the art of consulting with your safety Sherpa himself, Sheldon Primus.
This episode is powered by Safety FM.
All right, welcome to the Safety Consultant Podcast. I am your host, Sheldon Primus. This is the show where I teach you the business of being a safety consultant. We talk about OSHA compliance. We talk about EH&S stuff. I do some interviews. Do a whole bunch of stuff. So we are getting ready to talk about episode 2 of the Safety Champion program with OSHA. So if you have not listened to the OSHA Safety Champion program that I did in episode 1, then that's all right. We're going to do episode 2. And if you want, you could stop us right now, go listening to episode 1, then come back and episode 2. While you're doing that, I'm going to talk to the people who have not subscribed to this podcast yet. So please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the like and follow button, the plus button, whatever it is on your where you're listening to me on right now. Go ahead and hit that because I'm looking for new subscribers. It's free to do. You don't have to pay anything. It's going to help with the algorithm from all the different social media services. So I am honestly, I'm pimping myself. So go ahead and hit whatever it is. I would appreciate the support. And honestly, it's a great support. It's something that everyone could do. Just go ahead and follow the program, and it's going to bring more visibility to this so I can help more people. So I thank you in advance for doing that. And I'll keep an eye on the numbers, and when we start getting an increase, I'll let you know. I'd like to thank everybody who's listening to me around the globe, too. That's a big thing. And I know that I was OSHA-centric in the last episode, and I will be this episode and the following just because of the Safety Champion program. But again, I encourage you, listen this through, but then encourage you to think about the core principles that I'm going to describe in the stages, because these principles and stages is going to help you when you're going to talk, or are going to help you? Is going to help you? I'm not too sure about that one. You science, and then, or not science, you wordsmiths out there, let me know if which one I need to think of there. So anyway, again, the Safety Championship program is specific to the U.S. and to OSHA, and only OSHA's jurisdiction. Not even people in the public sector for OSHA could do this, unless your public sector has a state plan. But those you public sector workers that doesn't have a state plan, you guys can't qualify for this either, because it's only OSHA's jurisdiction. So what you're going to need to do is just listen to these principles of what OSHA is trying to get the safety champions to do, and you do this for yourself. And that's the goal here. I want you to be able to use this to reduce risk, to make it easier for you to let workers know that you care, and show that there's going to be a new safety and health initiative that you're going to do for yourself, regardless of getting OSHA's stamp of approval. But for those of you that are ready for the OSHA readiness program, or you want to be, all right, you've got even more of an incentive to listen out today, all right? So listen clearly, listen closely. We are going to do this thing. Can everyone hear me? Knock, knock. Who's there? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's get this thing going. First, we talked about, just gave you a nice little overview of what the safety program is and isn't. So OSHA has the Safety and Health Achievement Recognition Program, and then they also have the program that is called VPP, Voluntary Protection Program. So you guys heard me go through that last time, and I was trying to figure out VPP and all the other stuff, and just not wanting to say those acronyms too much. So I'm going to do the same thing now. We're going to say the acronyms, and we're not going to spell out everything like before. It's too much. I just don't have the energy for that. Just don't have it. So you're going to hear me talk in jargon, and I'll talk jargon sometimes, not jargon other times. So SHARP and VPP both are OSHA initiatives that will exempt you from some OSHA enforcement if you qualify, because you're already at that stage where your program is good enough that to be recognized, and OSHA can trust you to reduce risk on your own for your workers. So there's differences and nuances between VPP and SHARP, VPP being the higher of the two. But honestly, listen to episode 1. You'll get to know a little bit about that. The Safety Championship structure that we're going to really talk about in this episode is 3 major steps: introductory, intermediate, and advanced. And all of that is built around OSHA's 7 core principles. So if you can't remember the 7 core principles, it's management leadership, worker participation, hazard identification and assessment, hazard prevention and control, education and training, program evaluation and improvement, communication and coordination for host employers, contractors, and staffing agencies. So those are going to be the pillars for your program. And in the past, I used to do a webinar, and some of you may still be able to look up my webinar entitled 7 Steps to Creating an Effective Safety and Health Program. So that is out there Yeah, you could probably find it in some of the webinar companies that I've done that on. So this 7 principles are about the same. So anyway, I'm going to kind of go through this with you and just want to make sure that you guys are going to be ready for not only the stages, but just understand how to get all these things going, okay? The big picture. This is the framework for the Safety Champion program. I like that OSHA's doing this because, again, SHARP and VPP, you have to be at a certain level of safety and health that you can't even qualify until you are really getting to that advanced stage. Safety Champion is to help people start earlier. So the big picture here is you want to make sure that you're going to get all your safety activities in a nice safety management system, if you would. Make sure that everything's fully connected. And if you're hearing that term safety management system and you're thinking of another initiative called ISO 45001, you are correct. That is also an influencer, if you would, for this Safety Champion program. So what you're going to see is the first element of the 7 core elements, and again, introductory, intermediate, advanced, is just how much are you putting that into your everyday working system. The more advanced people are doing it in all their activities. Introductory, you may not even have a safety and health program yet, but you want to. That's the difference. So first core principle is management leadership. So there's a guide and a tracker that the Safety Champion program gives you. And what you want is your management to start doing things such as give you a mission for safety, setting goals, providing resources, establishing accountability. Those are the things that's going to show that management really cares. Even down to your boss walking into an area that clearly has a sign, hearing protection beyond this point, and they are going to wear their hearing protection. Or if not, it's very easy for someone who's a regular worker to say, "Hey boss," and tap their ear and point out that the boss isn't wearing hearing protection, and the boss throws up that thumb and says, "Cool, thank you." And they put on their hearing protection and it's not weird. And no one's getting written up or any of that stuff. That is truly going to show management commitment and support into the safety system. So leadership has to believe that everyone's job is safety. And it's not just about compliance. It's about what can we do beyond safety compliance. It could be even being visible when it comes to safety meetings and showing up for whatever time they have in the safety meetings and giving their input in safety initiatives as much as they would their input in operational and production and quality initiatives. That's what it looks like for management and leadership. And they're going to talk about ethics too. It's a big thing. So after that, the next element's going to be worker participation. How do we get workers to feel like they have a voice in your system? So you're going to have to do some sort of baseline worker survey, create an action plan from the findings, and you're going to think about workers' rights stuff. So there's going to be discipline with HR crossing over to our discipline, which is good. You want all the disciplines to cross over with your organization and all the different people like production, quality, HR, finance, sales. Everybody's going to be working together towards this initiative. So first we're going to have to check and see where everybody, where their feelings are. Their perception study on safety and health is going to be important. You're going to have to create committees. You're going to have to create documentation and have the workers participate in that stuff. Help them create JSAs and start utilizing the JSAs, job safety analysis. JHA is the same thing, job hazard analysis. going to do investigations with worker participation, learning teams. All of that is going to be how the workers are going to get involved in your safety and health program. So that information that is being gathered and the participation that's happening is going to make everyone feel that we're in this together. So that's step 2, an important step, because you're going to build trust, and you want to build that trust. Next after that is going to be hazard identification and assessment. So this is a big portion of what the safety and health, the EH&S department is going to be working on. They're going to be they're going to figure out the listing of hazards, chemical hazards, physical hazards, how exposure happens to these hazards. That's going to be your JSAs. It's going to be anything, really. It's going to be regarding risk and looking and finding risk as best as you can through regular audits and inspections, emergency action preparation, contingency planning, the nuances of looking for high-risk situations, identifying and assessing hazards as to how badly someone will be impacted by this hazard if they get exposed to it. Then that information is going to help you go to the next phase, which is to figure out, all right, now that we know the blind spots, we know where incidents are likely to happen, we did our learning team to figure out where risk exists, we listen to the workers, let's now do hazard prevention and control. And you can use the hierarchy of controls for this. And that hierarchy of control is going to lead you to elimination, substitution. Next after that will be an engineering control, an administrative control, which is just your work rules. Then very last line of defense we say is PPE, personal protective equipment. That doesn't dismiss that. That equipment's important. It's only the last line of defense because there's so much human interaction. You want to make sure that the people know, here's my PPE, this is what it's good for, this is how I store it, this is where is the best place, or let me clean it up after I use it. All that is human interaction. That's why it's the last line of defense, because it really relies on the human knowing a lot about their PPE. So it's not that it's bad, it just means that we're calling it the last line of defense truly because there's a lot of, you got to make sure the people know how to take care and use and all the other stuff related to their PPE. So that is the stage 4 hazard prevention and control. And after you build credibility with that prevention and control and understanding how to do it, you're going to have to truly train and educate your workers as to this, what your findings were. You're going to have to teach them about their rights, teach them about, all kinds of stuff related to the hazards that they're going to be exposed to, so that this effective training, and you're going to have to figure out what effective training looks like with retention and people's understanding. You're going to have to train your auditory learners, your visual learners, your kinesthetic learners. You're going to have to make sure that the retention is good. It's not boring training where they're going to be sitting in the back with their sunglasses on, that kind of stuff. So those are the things that you're going to really, really need to work on in the education and training portion in order for your information that you gathered from hazard assessment and all the other stuff that you found out for the risk and exposure, and then all your controls that you created due to your findings of hazard assessment, that information has to get transferred to the workers so that they could take in that information and understand what the true risk is. So at that point, that's the next stage. Once the education and training's done, then we're going to check our full system, safety management system, and look for improvements. You're going to ask perception studies again to see how everything's going. You're going to do learning teams to find weaknesses. You're going to analyze for trends. You're not looking just for absence of injuries. That's a very weak matrix. You're looking for engagement of workers. And that's going to be a matrix that you really want to hone into. And honestly, even it's important to know things like total recordable injury rates, days away restricted transfer rates. Those are important, but they shouldn't be the only things you think about. That stuff is lagging indicators. You want the leading indicators, worker feedback, how many item actions are closed in a certain given period of time, things like that. Then after you work on your improvement, evaluation of the programs, improvement of the programs, then the next stage is to let's work with the contractors, hiring contractors, vetting them, making sure that they know hazards in their area, making sure the training of the contractors are working well. So temporary workers, turnaround crews, specialty trades on your site, vendors that come in and out. You want to make sure that everybody in that organization and even outside your organization is going to be prepped and prepared. So that is the core principles related to the Safety Championship Program. So that's a lot of information. I'm going to stick with that information for now. So what we're going to do is the next episode, part 3 of this, the closing part, I'm going to pretty much help you answer some of these practical questions as to how do I start building the program. For you consultants, how can I create a practice or add some services in my practice so I could gain some customers through using the Safety Champion program, which is a valid question. So I'm going to help you guys work that part out. So I am going to leave you, though, with letting you know that I have a Safety Champion Readiness Workshop, and this is going to be April 21st, 2026, from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., and I am going to do my best to get you guys to understand this. And not only that, this is a workshop because it's 4 hours. So we're going to spend a good time helping you assess your organization. I got a workbook that we're going to take stuff step by step by step. And those of you that need continuing education units, I can't promise CEUs, but I can promise contact time. So I'm going to give you 4 hours of contact time. And if you are able to get that into CEUs, it'll be 0.4 in the continuing education units, but you will get 4 hours of contact time with a certification to go towards your renewal for whatever certification you have. So I will follow the IAA set rules for that. And if you want to be part of this and you want to get into the early bird, that's up until midnight at April 11th. And that price for early bird is $94. If you miss that, then the single person rate is going to be $165. Both of those rates will include a workbook. It'll include 14 days replay. It's going to give you just some action items with a checklist, what to do next, things like that. So it's still very valuable. If you missed the early bird, get the single ticket. If your company feels like you really want to invest in this, then go for the VIP ticket, $297. And with that VIP ticket, I am going to do a 30-minute just an assessment, or just taught you through what to do. And if you're ready and you want to submit stuff to OSHA, but you need a third party just to look it through and to check you out, you're going to get a 15% discount on an in-person Safety Championship Readiness Facility audit, where I go to your facility and I look through your paperwork and we just make sure you're ready. And then you could go ahead and go through the OSHA steps with the SGE and everything else. So wherever level you're at, just go ahead and just be ready. I'm going to be ready. You're going to be ready. So this is something that we're going to work on together. You got this. Go get them.
That's a wrap for today's safety show. Remember, safety isn't just about hard hats and caution signs. It's about business smarts too. Thanks for joining us on the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus. Until next time, stay safe, stay savvy, and keep consulting like a boss. Go get 'em. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast or broadcast are those of the host and its guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within the past hour, only examples. It should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the positions of the company. No part of this podcast or broadcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast or broadcast, Sheldon Primus.
This episode has been powered by Safety FM.
You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.